thinking? You're saying to yourself, one, does he have some coffee with him? Not that this is going to be my thing. Like, people have a thing. They're like, oh, they bring their hat, or they have their lucky monkey, or they're chewing on some chocolate. I happen to like coffee. That's what I'm having. Anyway, you're saying, wow, this is Darren Redmond for FHT's Redmond's Wrap-Up. And Redmond's Wrap-Up a second time on a Sunday? Wow, May 6th. This is a special day. Well, a couple of reasons. One, the teams that I like to cover, or that I'm covering right now, they've all played already. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, there's a special reason, I'll get to it in a second, as to why we're doing two in one day. And I'll get this out, hopefully, for Sunday evening, before you start watching Fear the Walking Dead, which it's scary to say is actually better than The Walking Dead right now. The whole Negan thing, way too long. Fonzie. With Dr. Evil sort of mentality, right? Just kill the people already. Stop with the conversations, will you? And really, that jacket, where do you wash that jacket? Anyway. What a disappointing season finale that was, huh? But I'm sticking with the show. Anyway. Going to start with the Fresno State softball team today. They had another game against UNLV. This was the final home game of the season. It was also senior day, so a lot of pageantry out there today as we say so long and thank you so much to the seniors on the squad. Unfortunately, the game did not go Fresno State's way as they fell to UNLV 6-2. Savannah McKellen did have a nice solo home run, rip right down the left field line. The line of the game went this way: UNLV 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And Fresno State, unfortunately, just 2 runs with only 4 hits and 3 errors on the field. Couldn't find the handle sometimes. But they look to regroup as they go on the road. They're the Road Warriors. They're going to end up in Nevada next weekend to play there. We then segue over to the men's team. And they tried a ferocious back-and-forth game with Nevada. Unfortunately, they were not able to overcome their initial deficit. Nevada wins 12-11. Fresno State comes home for a nice long homestand, hopefully some home cooking. They'll get them in some good shape to try to secure a spot in the Mountain West Conference playoffs. Ashford went 4 for 5 with a double and a home run. And Ariuta is having a very strong year, 3 for 4 with a double. So they also traveled to CSUN on Tuesday. They'll be on the road there. They seem to play a lot of CSUN games on Tuesdays for whatever reason. That just seems to be the case. So we wish them well, and we'll look forward to seeing them go. Look, right? Go Bulldogs! I'm wearing it. What am I gonna say? It's Sunday. Fresno Grizzlies. It doesn't matter whenever they play Sacramento. It doesn't matter how these two teams look in the standings. It's always a war. The fan base, everything else. It was really a big war when Sacramento were the A's and Fresno were the Giants. But it's still a war because Fresno, let's face it, they are loaded with talent. World champion Houston Astros, and Sacramento has the Giants. So with Hunter Pence being on the squad this weekend. Anyway, it did not go the way for the Fresno Grizzlies as they would have liked. They lost 6-5. They scored 4 runs in the last inning, the last turn at bat in the 9th inning, but they came a little short. Thornton pitched okay, but he drops to 2-2 on the year with 8 strikeouts. So that's what's happening with the Fresno Grizzlies. They are back home for a homestand starting, I believe, tomorrow. I'll double check that, but they're still in good shape. 19-12 on the year, not too shabby, as Adam Sandler says in his Hanukkah song. Not too shabby. Not bad at all. Anyway, so that's the deal with the Fresno Grizzlies. They're going to just have wars every time they play the Sacramento River Cats. I think you'd agree with that. So those are the 3 teams that we're covering today. As of now, Serge, the hockey guru, is sitting with pen and paper in hand, watching, taking copious notes for the San Jose Shark, Las Vegas Golden Knight game. You probably know what already happened in the Tampa Bay Boston game. Bye-bye, Boston. Did I say that out loud? Anyway, so you know what happened there. By the way, I will review with you, my son and I, a couple of weeks ago, at the beginning of the playoffs, we kind of did how we think things were going to go. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty well. So we'll take a look at that. Anyway, I like all sports. I mean, you can pick a sport, and I'll tell you my favorite person is in there and why, and we can talk about things. I played college football. I coached college football. I coached college softball. I've been a baseball fan my whole life. Been a hockey fan my whole life. Watched soccer with the Cosmos and Giorgio Canaglia, Pele, Franz Beckenbauer, Stevie Hunt, Errol Yassin. The list goes on and on. But one of my pure, true heroes is Willie Mays. And today is Willie Mays' birthday. Say hey, Willie. Say hey. Say hey, Willie. You know, he just... If you grew up in New York during the 50s, right, you had Willie, Mickey, and the Duke in center field. And Willie Mays, man, just unbelievable. 302 lifetime batting average, just incredible. Because he was not just like plunk, dink, and dunk base hits. He had 660 home runs. This is way before WAR and all these other acronyms. How many home runs does the guy have? How many RBIs, and what's his average? Thank you very much. So 1,900 RBIs, 1903, I believe. 660 home runs. Unbelievable center fielder. You know, I remember one time listening to him be interviewed, and they asked him, and without hubris, he was like, well, the ball's hit, I run and catch it. Ball's thrown, I kind of swing and hit it. The man knew, you probably heard this story before, but the man, when he ran the bases, unbelievable. The hat would come flying off, and he knew how to run just slow enough to force a throw and then speed up so the runner behind him could take an extra base. I mean, just unbelievable baseball knowledge. And, I was fortunate enough to see him play. And then, there are the cynics. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world, right? There's always somebody who's going to criticize him. Yes, got to see him when he's with the Mets. Well, first, if I seen him play when he was with the Giants. I was young. And I seen him many, many times with the Mets. Back then, the Mets, on Dairy Lee milk cartons, you can cut out the back of the carton for 99 cents. Yes, 99 cents. You can get sit in the top 2 rows of the stadium. So I got to see Willie Mays play. Now, granted, he wasn't in his prime, but he still was great. It's Willie Mays. Come on, it's Willie Mays, number 24. Let's go. In fact, when I would play, the Little League team that I played for didn't have numbers on their jerseys. If they did, it would be 24. So when I started to play softball with my friends and such, I would wear number 24. And then as an homage, because I could hit, not the best fielder in the world, let's be honest, anybody watching this saw me, you knew. I would wear number 24 for Willie Mays. I'd wear number 10 for Rusty Staub, just a team player, class guy. And then I started doing a lot of DHing and EHing. So number 10 was right up my alley for Rusty Staub because he's a pinch hitter extraordinaire. One year I wore 7 just because of the Mick. The number was available. I would never wear 41. Would never wear 41 because 41 is Tom Seaver, the greatest pitcher I've ever seen, ever. I wasn't a pitcher. That number does not belong on the back of anybody who's not a pitcher. Tom Terrific, the franchise, never should have been traded from the Mets. Terrible, terrible trade. Anyway, back to Willie Mays. So Willie Mays is 87 years old. That smile a mile wide. Baseball did him and Mickey Mantle a disservice when they both got hired, because they weren't making a lot of money back then, by casinos in Atlantic City after they retired. And Major League Baseball said you either stay at Major League Baseball and cut your ties with the casino, or you can't coach in baseball. Both of them said, you know what, take a hike. They took the extra money. Good for them. So anyway, Willie Mays, I'm sure if you have any great Willie Mays memories, please write down here on the YouTube channel. Share those comments. I'd love to hear them. And even in the 73 World Series, where Willie Mays lost a couple of balls in the sun, the Mets should have won that World Series. They went back to Oakland up 3-2. I thought it was so full of synchronicity that a man who played in New York and San Francisco would end up in a World Series playing for the New York Mets in Oakland, right across the bay from San Francisco. So those people got to give him a wonderful applause, and that's why I always feel a connection with San Francisco Giant fans. Anyway, happy birthday, Willie Mays. Thank you for all the memories, and God bless you and your family as you celebrate 87th year. You brought many smiles to me when I was a kid. Say hey, Willie. Happy birthday to you.